Joining me now from the US is Israeli author and activist Noah Tishby. Noah, thanks for coming on the program this evening. I can't imagine the relief families of the hostages must be feeling today.
Absolutely. This is a day of elation. We have been waiting for this day for 2 years. The hostage families have been waiting for this day for 2 years, and it all happened very quickly, unfolded very, very quickly. Basically, President Trump decided that this needs to happen, and it did. So there was a lot of pressure being put on Hamas from Qatar, from Turkey that joined along. The White House was able to coordinate this international effort, this bipartisan Arabic effort, and it manifested itself with a deal that, according to the plan, should be signed by tomorrow noontime in Israel, and the hostages should be released. All the live ones should be coming back home starting Sunday, Saturday, or Sunday, God willing.
And the arrival of the hostages back to their families and friends coincides with a major Jewish festival. Is that right?
Yes, it is. It is Simchat Torah. Simchat Torah is a celebration of receiving the Bible, receiving the Torah, and it's the end of the holiday of Sukkot, which is exactly 2 years in the Hebrew calendar to when the October 7th massacre happened, and which started this entire disaster. So the symbolic aspect of the hostages returning on the same day that they were stolen from their beds or from a party is huge, and it's not lost on every Jewish person around the world. It's again a beautiful moment. It is still early. I want to see them all home, and then we can actually celebrate, but it seems to be a done deal, thank God. And what we're looking at right now, basically, is the manifestation of the new Middle East, the vision that was set forth by President Shimon Peres of Israel 20 years ago is now coming to fruition with President Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu. It's a beautiful thing to see. This is certainly a bipartisan move on behalf of everybody to get this breakthrough. This deal is more than a hostage deal or a ceasefire deal. This deal, if it actually manifests itself and if it actually happens all the way through, brings forth a new future for the region and a new future for Gaza, which really all of us want. We want a future with peace between Israel and the Palestinian people and with no Hamas anywhere near Gaza. And that's what we're working towards.
Now, as we're talking, it's very early in the morning in Israel. Have you been in touch with family and friends this morning, early as it is?
I have, and people are awake, and whoever was not awake was woken up, and the hostages are basically running to Hostage Square. I've spent many nights there. I've spoken at the square. I've met with families of almost all of the hostages. It's been heart-wrenching 2 years to follow them and be with them and hold their hands and support them for so long, but they're all rushing to the square to be together. They're opening champagne bottles. They're elated. They're doing shots. You see videos of hostage survivors that are doing shots with their friends. It really is beautiful because we keep forgetting that a lot of these hostages are just young people. Emily Damari and Omer Tov and Elia Cohen, they're in their early 20s. All they want to do is live their lives, and their lives was abruptly stopped with this violent crime, and all they want to do is get back to their lives with their friends, and that's what seems to be happening. So I couldn't be more thrilled for the hostages, for the hostage families, and for the entire region. A new Middle East is upon us, God willing.
One of the most important aspects of this deal with the release of the hostages is that they'll all be released at once and presumably without the ugly theatrics that Hamas performed in previous hostage handovers. That's an amazing thing and obviously very appropriate, but I'm sure families will be very relieved about that.
Yes, I am sure. Look, as a spectator, as a person from the outside, I've obviously been involved in Israel advocacy, but had nothing personal with the people that have returned. I was mortified, and it was revolting to see the spectacle, as you called it, of putting these people on stage, emaciated and hungry and tired and sad and broken, wounded, injured, and kind of walking them, parading them around to men, women, and children screaming and cheering. It was a grotesque spectacle, to be honest. And I am very happy that Israel set their foot down and said no more, and the United States supported that. It was absolutely horrific, and I'm very happy that it's not happening again. And the fact that all 20 live hostages will be returned at once. Israel was done with stage deals. We knew that if 10 more hostages will be returned on phase one, we might not see the other 10, and we couldn't afford that. So to have them all come back together without this grotesque display is a huge win, as well as the IDF is not moving from the perimeter, because we need to make sure that Israel is safe and secure. And as long as Hamas is there, Israel needs to be there as well.
Noah, while there's going to be great celebration for the families of the 20 or so living hostages, there are about that many or more deceased hostages, and it may take longer for their bodies to be returned.
Yeah, 28 deceased hostages. One of them is a female. Bar is her name. Murdered either on October 7th or right after. And, Hamas and the Islamic Jihad are saying that they have lost some. They're saying that it's hard for them to track, quote unquote, the bodies. In Jewish culture and tradition, burial is very important. So you have to bring a dead person, a deceased person, to be buried. And that is why the hostage families of the deceased have been so adamant about receiving their children's bodies as well. I know this is something that might be difficult to fathom for people from outside the culture and the religion, but nobody wanted to imagine this, but for those families and for the Jewish people, it is crucial that we return every single one of them home. This is why we've been talking about 48 hostages and not 20 live hostages. We've been saying we have 48 hostages and they all need to come back home. And we're thrilled that it's happening.
Noah, just before I let you go, President Donald Trump, how is he regarded in Israel right now?
An absolute hero, and he does deserve the Nobel Prize, which I hope he gets, if not this year, the next. If only just for the Abraham Accord and for everything that he's been doing in the Middle East so far. It's an extraordinary and astonishing achievement.
Noah Tishby, thanks for talking to me on a very historic day. We trust and pray everything goes ahead as it's supposed to. Thanks for coming on the program.